There you have live images from Tel Aviv as President Biden steps out of Air Force One and begins his visit to Israel. An incredibly high-stakes mission to the country just less than 24 hours after the tragic blast at the hospital in Gaza. You can see him there with Benjamin Netanyahu. We'll see if we can get any sound. I believe at the moment we just have the images here, but an incredibly difficult and now even more complicated mission facing the U.S. president.
And he's expected, of course, to speak with the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and there he is being greeted by him and members of his entourage in Tel Aviv. Of course, Air Force One just landed a couple of minutes ago. Later, he's expected to meet as well with first responders, followed by meeting with families of victims from the October 7 terrorist attack. And he is expected to deliver remarks later on as well.
October 7th, 2023. Today marks the first anniversary of the invasion of Israel. This day will always be etched in the minds and hearts of the world. This endless war, so it seems, has dominated the international headlines for decades, and in my opinion will be the linchpin for WW3. Mankind hasn't learned its lesson, not just in the Middle East, but around the globe. We have not learned our lesson. I believe we're in the last days before our precious Lord and Savior Jesus comes. Will he call us to a heavenly place before all hell breaks loose? Or do we endure that as well? I'm sure many Christians around the globe have asked that question. The song, "You Are Not Alone," the song, "You Are Not Alone," plays in the hearts of the world. It's by Michael Jackson and penned and produced by R. Kelly. We are not alone in our desire for peace, yet we fund war. What a dilemma, what a paradox, what a conundrum. Come on, Jesus, I'm hearing folks shout. We are not alone. That is what Biden said when he addressed on October 18th. October 18th, fitting how he spoke on 10/18. That is reminiscent to me of Luke 10:18, when Satan was hurled down to the earth for being rebellious, him and a third of the angels. They wanted to be like the Most High. And he said, I want to be like the Most High. In this generation, we can clearly see one way to make that happen is to have man in opposition to each other. The absence of peace, the funding of war. Now the inhabitants, we desire that. And yes, the United Nations was here in New York less than a week ago, unifying the world. The Pope is caravanning around the world, one world religion. So yes, one world religion, one world government. We are not alone anymore, focusing on unification. What builds that desire? War builds that desire. The powers make that happen. They create these conditions. And they got a solution.
We're not alone. As long as the United States stands, and we will stand forever, we'll not let you ever be alone. Most importantly, I know the recent terrorist assault on the people of this nation has left a deep, deep wound. More than 1,300 innocent Israelis killed, including at least 31 American citizens by the terrorist group Hamas. Hundreds of young people at a music festival. The festival was for peace, gunned down as they ran for their lives. Scores of innocents, from infants to elderly grandparents, Israelis and Americans, taken hostage. Children slaughtered, babies slaughtered, entire families massacred. Rape, beheadings, bodies burned alive. Hamas committed atrocities that recall the worst ravages of ISIS.
You are not alone. This thread between peace and war, we haven't turned our hearts around to navigate toward peace. I submit to you because the world doesn't want peace. Satan doesn't want peace. The powers don't want peace. Not until the Prince of Peace comes will we have it. The occupants of the world, to clarify, we want peace. But the leaders of the world, they know that one thing, the absence of it, will lead them to their goal. That's what they know. And so, in my humble opinion, they created it. Allegedly, it was depicted on this magazine, The Economist magazine, December 22nd, 2012 issue, A Rough Guide to Hell. Is it coincidence that this magazine from 2012, where they have a flyer with a bandana on that says Hamas. It says Hamas on that bandana on his head, with Satan at the helm, a demon, fighting this demon. But that's fitting, isn't it? Doesn't the Bible say we fight against principalities, not against flesh and blood? You got flesh and blood here, but look, there's the demons. Hamas fighting Israel. How could they know that 11 years in advance? Sort of on October 7th of 2023, it would get down like that. How'd they know? Got the devil orchestrating everything. Future events. If this was accurate, can we not argue that these things will be accurate? All the leaders we see drowned in what? Looks like hell, looks like war, looks like oil, looks like something going on. Military involved. Again, all the leaders. America has been toppled. The Capitol. Look at that, burnt up. Obama's on a boat, going through a canal. Is the canal symbolic of a new birth? Is this the United Nations? Do you understand what I'm getting at? Again, if this was accurate, is this not part of the forecast as well, that Obama would lead us out of this demise through the canal? A canal is like birth, right? What is this saying? Cyber attacks, devils on the computer. What is this saying? Look at it. Is it speaking without speaking? And again, how did they know? A rough guide to hell. Something to ponder, people.
It was 1 year ago today that Hamas militants stormed across the Israeli border, triggering fresh conflict in the region and sending shockwaves around the world. 1,200 people were slaughtered, the single largest loss of Jewish life on a single day since the Holocaust. The massacre today marked with vigils here and abroad. Edward Godfrey begins our coverage from Israel.
6:29 a.m. October 7. the moment Israel and the Middle East was changed forever. Here at the site of the Nova Music Festival massacre, shared sorrow. The sun was still rising 1 year ago when rockets began streaking overhead at the desert rave. Some revellers thought they were fireworks. Then sirens sounded and Hamas fighters burst over.
The anniversary of Israel's darkest day began with the sounds of the war that has haunted this region ever since. Thousands gathered at first light at the site of the Nova Music Festival, the scene of the biggest massacre that morning. 364 people were murdered here and 40 taken hostage. Some had tried to hide in the trees, others jumped in their cars to escape, a few even played dead and prayed for help to arrive. But it was Hamas which came from three sides. The blood of their victims is now seeped into the very sand on which they had danced all night. What does today mean to you?
Today is, I think, the day that changed for every Israel, everyone in Israel, all the lives.
We want to live in peace with everybody.
We want to live in peace with everybody. I showed you videos, coincidentally, the last couple of weeks, people, where Donald Trump was asked in relation to President Israel, Netanyahu. And paraphrase, Trump says, you know what, I haven't talked to him since he came to America and met with Joe Biden, met with Kamala Harris, and then met with Trump. And Trump told Netanyahu, go ahead, so many words, handle your business, get it over with. Because this is not sustainable, we can't continue this. And I've also said in videos since then that I asked, was Trump speaking in code? Because the election's coming up November 5th. Get it done before then, because at that point I am going to bring in a peace. Wow. Biden arrives, tells him you're not alone. I went to the DNC, you guys know I went to the DNC. I covered the demonstrations of the Palestinians. I covered that event. I covered that event for the whole week. I had several videos. I'll show you those in sequence. You guys can watch them. Friend Shot Blue is live at the DNC. Live DNC. Live DNC. I followed the protests. I listened to the Palestinians. People, this is a very, 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 very serious time. And Satan is going to use it to continue to use it in his favor. Earlier, I presented this video. I'll show you again. This is the sister of one of the Hamas hostages. She wore 242. I believe 242. That date is August 30th of 2024, which meant it's the 329th day of the year, 329 days of the war. You see, the war started on October 7th, 2023. And if my logic is right, she's saying it's 242 days her sister is in captivity. So again, the 242nd day of the year is August 30th, 2024, subtracted from December 7th of 2023 when the war began. The difference is 329 days or 47 weeks, including the end date. Wow, what a revelation, 47 weeks, and we're trying to get a 47 president. What I am seeing is a trend, just like it was back in the day. Almost exactly. You got hostages just like back in the day. They were negotiating the hostages. And it just might happen again where we change from one presidential regime to another. Back in the day, it was Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. If I'm not mistaken, as soon as Ronald Reagan became president, that was the same day that the hostages, we had 50 hostages over in Iran. They were released. We got hostages over there again, people. So I want you to listen to this lady that I'm going to read. What I'm saying is this. This is about world governance. Believe it or not, I believe what Satan is doing. He's having this Middle East situation ramp back up to bring in WW3. And then they can justify bringing in world governance, which is a one world system. That's just how I see it, people. It's sick, but it's all being manipulated. We're pawns in this game. I've been watching this game, like I said, since the late 70s. I've been watching this game, so I'm putting it together for you. We need Jesus, and I pray he comes before all this hell breaks loose. So listen to what this lady's predicting. Listen.
Saying that the goal was to eliminate Hamas and that he would not agree to a ceasefire and hostage exchange deal until that happened. Now, this seems to be Joe Biden saying again that what is obstructing the ceasefire process that could allow your sister to come home and get the food and get the medicine and get the care that she needs and to live in safety.
Okay, so I went too far. So let me go back to his 2015, because I blew it again. See what I can do here.
We are not 200 years ago. This is not okay that we have terror organizations that controlling the free world and people in the West letting it happen and stay on the streets, killing the hostages now, or Israelis must die. What did I do wrong? What did my sister did wrong? Nothing. Nothing. We did nothing wrong.
Well,
this was happening inside our own country. And if the world won't help us, we will see 9/11 the second time in the U.S. as well.
Did you hear that? You hear what she said? If the United States doesn't help over there and their situation, we're going to see 9/11 again. It's deep, y'all. Now, can you imagine that, people? We're 1 year anniversary. And if she's thinking it and she's saying it, you gotta assume the conversation is going on. You got the Palestinian protests, which I covered right here in Chicago for 4 or 5 days at the DNC. You know as well as I do, all over social media. I don't think there hasn't been a day where there hasn't been a protest on either side, not only in America throughout, but globally. This is a hot button issue. I can't stress how serious it is. And to me, it's being fueled in part by the globalists. I just understand the mentality of the one worlders and what their objective is. They don't care about flesh and blood. They don't care about either side, actually, in my humble opinion. They want this universal goal. There's a bloodline working in concert with the fallen angels. The objective is a one world system, and WAR is one way to achieve it. It's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it is true. This will not be turned around. The pendulum is swinging. No side wins. The world doesn't win from this. The globalists at the end, they'll set up a system. They'll give us what our heart innately wants, and that is peace. One of my friends sent this to me, and it fit like a glove again. The person knows who they are. God bless you. The world is crying for a system of things to change. And Trump is that image, that system that they want to have universally, not just nationally, but universally, because the world is going through a lot of dilemmas. A lot of dilemmas. Listen to this here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that video is from yesterday from Japan, Tokyo, Japan, I believe. People all over the world are looking to the United States of America right now. The rest of the world is looking at us and saying, please vote Trump. We're tired of the wars. We're tired of this instability worldwide. We didn't have it under Trump. As soon as Kamala and Biden came in, everything is going down the drain. We are at risk of World War III like the world has never even thought of before. Japan needs Trump. Europe needs Trump. Ukraine needs Trump. Israel needs Trump. Middle East, Russia.
America is on the cusp of a new golden age. America is on the cusp of a new golden age. Trump has been saying this for years. And 2 days ago when he was in Pennsylvania, he said it again in his speech. It's so Shekinic. What is this new golden age for America? We got to start questioning what the powers are talking about. Does America need a golden age? Why don't we just go back to where it used to be from the basis of the Constitution from 1776? Why do we need a new golden age? Is this code for a one world system? He said it. Go back and watch the Pennsylvania, the anniversary. Well, that is when he came back after being allegedly shot in the ear. His return to Pennsylvania. What did he say? A new golden age. Sometimes the euphoria is so thick, so deep, we're not listening to the clues and the codes, allegedly. What is a new golden age, people? Peace, security, money, bringing things back the way they used to be. Well, is it at the cost of our sovereignty? This is what has to be asked. This is what has to be asked, people. It has to be asked. What I submit to you is all this spun together, is the ingredients that we need to bring us to the one world system. I am convinced people are looking, hoping and praying for this image. They got him even looking a little bit Japanese, don't they? But that's what they're looking for. I believe his role is that of the illusionist. That spirit, this movement will then yield and then give its way to the mark of the beast, to the Antichrist and the system. He's just one of the biggest tools in the last days. Setting up the stage for the Antichrist. There are certain conditions that you need to bring in the Antichrist, people. You need atmosphere. You need to change the atmosphere. You got to have the United Nations, right? A one world church, a one world currency to dummy down the people, to make the people so heart sick, keep creating these wars, keep funding these wars, hurting people to the point, breaking them down to the point where they even give up on their Lord and Savior Jesus. And then putting out an atmosphere for potential crisis, like a 9/11. Do you follow me? And again, constantly funding this thing. I want to read to you a response that I gave to a friend of mine in relation to all this that I'm telling you right now. So let me read this to you. I'll break this thing down gradually. There is a pyramid crew out here, people. A pyramid crew. A pyramid crew. So what is that pyramid crew? The fallen angels of the bloodline. They're orchestrating all of this thing. What I'm seeing in my spirit is Trump is the illusionist. To give hope to the golden age, he mentioned yesterday at the rally. He said it. He's sneaky. Obama is the orchestrator behind the scenes, making all this happen to draw attention to Trump. Then Trump will be unalived. And that will give the power to United Nations. They have a plan and a secondary plan. Then Obama will rise from that. That's what I said my belief is. So Obama has to stay behind the scenes until everything is set. Like I told you guys, it's easy to point to who's in public, which is Trump, but it's really Obama. As I decode, I realized Obama had to fit a mold which shows he's the Antichrist. So for example, the numbers 44 and 84 have always showed up historically, way before Obama was even born. And then Obama became the 44th president and then born on August 4th. Maybe that's why this man, maybe that's why this image back in the day said, show your birth certificate. They tell you and they speak without speaking. And again, as I decode, the 44 and the 84 have always been there. And then Obama had to fit a mold. He became the 44th president. He was born on August 4th. Everything had to be set up ahead of time through this satanic numeric system. And then the one who's going to take it over, that is the universal Antichrist system, everything fits. It's like the numbers preceded the man. It's deep, y'all. Now, I responded in relation to this. I watched more videos on Egypt and other civilizations and realized more and more that coffins speak. Like when in the coffins, like I bet that Akhenaten's coffin has different numbers and different things which point to the future as him being king of the world. Did you guys know that in Egyptian history, they write hieroglyphics and they put things in the coffin and they actually draw on the coffin in relation to the future? I would bet my last dollar that on Akhenaten's coffin and on the sun god Ra's coffin, if there is such a thing, there are hieroglyphics pointing to the future and their role for the future. I bet. And I bet the servants knew too that it was pointing and projected toward this moment. It's deep, y'all. Just got to wrap your mind around it. These Egyptian gods always prepare themselves in a lot of ways for the next life. They always put information of hieroglyphics and different things on the coffin, which not only tell the future, but prepare them for that future. Guess what? Trump don't have that Egyptian history, but Obama does. It's deep, y'all. The decodes show all the players pointing to Obama and not Obama numbers of 44 and 84 pointing to them. This demonic calendar was more futuristic, incorporating 44 and 84 for the future of this Antichrist kingdom of King Obama. It's like these numbers are stamped. It's like these numbers pre-stamp him. It's deep. That's why they work in unison. Remember, they got Trump to set the stage for Obama. And then once the stage is set, Obama will rise. Get this satanic calendar, along with their devilish form of gematria, had to be formatted by fallen angels, then taught to the bloodline. I'm gonna read it again. This satanic calendar, along with their devilish form of gematria, had to be formatted by the fallen angels, then taught to the bloodline, so they could keep things secret. There are hidden codes and patterns that once you study enough, you begin to see those patterns. This number system either had to be made by God himself for the good of man, yet hijacked by Satan and crafted for the Antichrist and Antichrist system. This is why, through decoding, it points to the operations of the beast system, then finally the Antichrist. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, people, whether it's war, economic doom, poverty, before this system came into being, I believe the fallen angels had to create some type of demonic gematria to keep things secret so they could start this one world system. And now today, as I decode and others decode, we're revealing, we're pulling back the veil as to what's going on, and the numbers speak to it. The numbers 84 and 44. Again, Barack Obama was born on August 4th. He became the 44th president. They put it in your face when allegedly, when this man said, show your birth certificate. Remember, I told you, they're always telling themselves. Because to me, what they're trying to tell you allegedly is that we have crafted a system long ago, and that we're going to put somebody to fit and answer those numbers. Obama answers it to the T. Go back and watch my videos. The decode show it. Thank God for this revelation. It's one of the most heaviest revelations I've ever had. It fits with the 5 C's of clues, codes, colors, the confirmation of our time and conclusion. It also strongly suggests that they do the 5 D's: delay, deny, debate, derail, and destroy. And we're in the last phase of destroying. And you got Biden on one side to destroy it, and you got one who's bringing in the golden age to tell you, we're going to deliver you out of this. And not only nationally are people wanting a savior to bring America back again, as in this clip. In this clip, VT Politics, he's showing that in Japan, they're looking for America to lead as well. And then boom, once he's unalived, United Nations will ramp up their agenda, and then Obama will step in, allegedly, in my humble opinion, and lead the world out of its crisis. And I believe it all fits right back to this, because you see Obama right here going through a canal. He's in hell. Look at the water. He's in hell. All this catastrophe going on, starting with the WAR in the Middle East. He's coming through the canal. A canal like a mother's womb. A canal is birth. It's a new birth of this quote-unquote alleged golden age. He's got to come through under a canal. A birth. They're telling us. What do you think? I'm Franchai Pearson. If you like the work, please subscribe. Pray for the Middle East and pray for all around the world. We even have wars in our home. The Bible talks about in Matthew 24, son against father and daughter against mother. There's war everywhere, but we serve a Prince of Peace who loves us. God bless you. Remember, make sure you always subscribe, okay? Daily. God bless.